We are live. Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, and apparently I have a phone call coming in. Oh, Ted, it's your mom, by the way. So we're gonna do our weekly wrap here. We had recorded it yesterday, and something went horribly wrong.
And to make up for it, Dave's gonna rap it.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna beatbox.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, there we go.
And it was only gonna go worse from there.
Yeah.
But
because Dave is also his own rap video hoe.
Yeah. Oh god. Woo. Gotta pull the shirt down. Now, for you guys that don't know what's going on and what we're doing, basically we're going to do a quick wrap on GeekFest, as well as we're going to discuss everything we did last week. All the links are below, so you guys can conveniently go to whatever it is you're looking for. And I think we have our Q&A turned on. I don't know, it went a little weird when we did it, so I'll see if that works or not. If you guys start sending messages in, and okay, I have to turn it on the inside as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about GeekFest a little bit. Then we're going to go through our normal shenanigans. And then if you guys want to stick around and you have some questions, then we'll probably try and provide answers. So Nerdarchy Ryan did not make this year's GeekFest, or one of them.
And then there's 2 per year, so there's enough going on.
Yeah, there's plenty of GeekFest going on. Me and Ted were actually a little concerned that this year would be wouldn't be as good because of the rain. People would stay away, but that did not really happen. What did happen though was like they had to postpone some of the stuff to later in the day, and some things like the geeky car show didn't happen. But for the most part, it was still a pretty good showing.
Place was jam packed. Lots of people, lots of stuff going on. It's definitely a fun time.
Before we go into any more of the GeekFest, I do want to say, give a shout out to Kyle, Carl, and James. It was great to see all 3 of you guys at the event, and your family too, James. He had the missus and child in tow, which is cool, bringing up the next generation.
Absolutely.
So, there was some cool things at GeekFest, and there were some disappointments as well. Because previous years there was a lot more like indie game designers that haven't quite put their product out and doing playtesting and showing their stuff, and there, I don't know if there was any of that this year.
There were a couple game designers that we have met at previous GeekFests that were there, but it didn't really look like they had any area to try out their games. It was just like, well, here's what I have for sale. Feel free to buy stuff.
Yeah, but we're not. That's not what I'm talking about. Like when a couple of the previous GeekFests that we actually went to, like they had guys out there that hadn't actually put out their game yet. They were still play testing it.
Yeah, you were talking about people like Anthony and Nicole from Cardboard Fortress, or a couple GeekFests ago we met the guy from Planet Plunder, and those were cool to see games that are in development or in process that you get the ability to provide feedback on, and really get excited about getting into something at a ground level.
Yeah, there was also the Castle guy, and you introduced him to the Die 8 or the Die 12 or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my God, you solved all my problems with this polyhedra I've never heard of."
This is astounding. Although I should say too, though, like depending where people live, there's like local game conventions for game designers that I'm sure would be more than happy to have playtesters come and play their game, so you would get that same feel. It's just there's conventions specifically for that, as opposed to it being shoehorned into some broader sort of thing.
I'm sure, and there's unpubs and things like that, but it was just an observation that me and Ted had at this GeekFest compared to the previous ones. And when it was there, it was a joy. It's something that we enjoyed. I thought it was like a cool thing, and I'm hoping that the GeekFest people will try and bring more of that back, going forward. Another highlight, which I really enjoyed seeing, was the little Rays running around.
Yeah.
From little kids cosplaying Ray, little girls. It's kind of cool.
Ray Charles, right?
Close.
Yeah.
But Ray from Star Wars. So that was kind of cool. Both me and Ted being fathers with little girls, it's like, if they want to get into this thing, they're starting to get these strong role models that aren't half naked, which is it's nice to bring a little more diversity to the hobby like that. I mean, cosplayers will sex it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But there is like the unsexy option that's still strong and cool if they wish to go down that route.
And now cosplaying a sexy traffic cone.
Oh, I'm sure it's been done.
And
it has.
And they did have like the kid cosplay contest and the adult cosplay contest. It was kind of cool to see that that happening as well.
Yeah, they do the cosplay. They do the cosplay kickball. They do, and it's funny too because Tyler, right? It was Tyler that cosplayed Wolverine.
Yes.
He had to take his claws off because he kept like trying to take tickets, and he was one of the people working there and one of the promoters for GeekFest. And he's like, I had to take claws off because I'm like stabbing people. But then I saw like just later that day the YouTube video of the guy that made the pneumatic Wolverine claws. I'm like, his problems would all be solved. That's what he needs.
Unless he accidentally like triggers them and stabs somebody.
Yeah, that would be problematic since they're real claws.
Snicked. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. We got to take a break from GeekFest and go out to lunch, and we went out with one of the fans, Kyle, and he hung out with us, and he's another local guy. We can get more of you guys that are local together. That would be really cool. We could actually do something a little bit, just specifically for Nerdarchy and the fans. I mean, we've talked about that in the past, the possibility of doing the Nerdarchy.
So we also looked at having something possibly on a forum, the website, to maybe try and allow people to pin where they are, so we can try to figure out how many people we have that are local or pseudo local to us.
And also too, just trying to connect other gamers with each other for games, because I mean, we got quite a few questions of like, hey, do you guys have room at your table? And we're like, we've run 3 live games and 1 online game. But between those 4 games, that's like 20 different gamers that we kind of like interact with, and we're like, there's just no room.
On a regular basis, it's hard to squeeze any more bodies in.
We made the joke that we needed the Nerdarchy reject pile because there's literally enough people to form other games. Not that anybody in particular is good or not good enough for our table, just the fact that we have too many people for one table.
Too many nerds. Yeah.
Too many nerds, not enough table. We're trying to keep it down to like 6 players and a GM. Anything more than that starts to get unruly.
Absolutely.
And it's not as fun. But what are some of your other observations you want to make about GeekFest?
Well, I mean, as always, there's always plenty of product and things to buy, swag, be it games, collectible card games. There's always all of that stuff. They provided a decent gaming area upstairs to be able to play board games, either stuff you just bought or play the Tiki stuff. I thought it was cool. We met some people that were putting forth video games that were in development. So Dave, you and I, as well as a couple other people, played some asteroid meets combat game that was pretty awesome, I thought.
Yeah, that was pretty enjoyable. There was a couple of different video games that were being demoed there, which was kind of cool. And that's the kind of stuff we want to see more of, like with tabletops. Heck, even if it's only like two of them, there for tabletop, that would be cool. It just adds that dimension of variety. What else was there? There was first of all, I want to say they did a really good job with it being a rain day.
Absolutely.
There was no backup plan for if it rains, we're gonna have it a different day. No, this was the day it was happening. And a lot of work went into it. So like they had to do things like the Smash Brothers tournament had to be moved inside because apparently they didn't want to put the big screen TV and game system outside in the rain for some reason.
Go figure.
But I mean, electrocution by video game, isn't that one of the ways you become a superhero? So I guess they didn't want to experiment with that. So like that ended up getting moved upstairs to where their game area was, which was fine. But thankfully that happened this time and not last, because last time we ran games in that room, and the noise would have been like out of control. There would have been like no way we could.
Wait. So you're saying with people playing board games, people playing Magic, the radio station pumping music, and the Smash Brothers tournament, and my recovering voice from the flu, that we still would have been able to run games in that, or would not have been able to run games in that room?
You did forget the 501st Legion.
That's true. They were there as well.
They show up at GeekFest every year, but their changing room is like, up in that. There's a room off of the game area they were using. So you also have like stormtroopers going through.
At least they can't hit anything, so there is that.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope they don't topple down the stairs.
Yeah.
So all in all, they did a really good job with everything. Like me and Ted were saying, they're at that point where it's like they have to grow. Like I think they've outgrown the space, and it would be cool if they moved beyond it.
If they
spread things out a little bit.
Yeah, if they moved to another location where they could have like wings or areas segmented off to, like, okay, this is the this wing and this is that wing. It'd be really cool to, like, all right, here's a place to go buy board games and playtest board games. Here's the guys that are hawking video games, and here's the place to go play video games. So like you could have everything all clustered together in nice neat little clumps that all are thematic and cool. And still be able to have the costume parades and the things outside and the stage for performances. I think it could go well for them if they were able to get a bigger location that allowed for.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the numbers are. They usually get like around 1,200 people throughout the day, I think is what has been the previous events, which is not bad.
I want to say that it was over that, but I thought they had crested 2,000 on one of them.
Okay. So, and for you guys that are local and you've never been to GeekFest, it's it's basically anything nerdy and geeky in one place for one day, and I believe the brainchild behind it, Tiki, their thing was in New Jersey. If you ever want to do anything, it's like you either have to travel all the way up to North Jersey, 2 hours away, or cross the bridge into Philadelphia. And he's like, why can't we stay on the side of the bridge once in a while? Or it's the Jersey and fear of crossing the bridge, one or the other. Right. So that's kind of like
some Jersey people do not cross the bridge. There's trolls. There would be trolls there.
Yeah, under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
So that's kind of why he did it, and it's been a success ever since he started it. Maybe too much so in some ways, where like we said, it needs to grow a little bit more. And maybe they just want to see more people coming before they grow it, but maybe it's a case of where they have to actually grow to grow. I don't know. Right. That's going to be a challenge for them to figure out.
But if you haven't been to GeekFest, you can't argue with the price. If you show up with canned goods to donate for the food bank, or you come in costume, it's only $5. If you don't, it's only $3 more. It's $8, and you get all this jam-packed nerd and geekery all together. It's totally worth it.
So, with that, let's move on from GeekFest. You guys get the point. If you happen to be in the South Jersey area, it's a cool thing to check out twice a year, and they always seem to rotate different things in and out of it. So it's not always the same experience, and they're always trying to make it better. We know the people that are involved with it personally, or at least that's kind of how we. Did we meet them first at GeekFest? Yeah, we did, right? Because we stumbled upon GeekFest, and then we hooked up with the guys from Tiki and Island Official.
I had known of Tiki and had been in there a couple of times, I think, before GeekFest happened.
But the real catalyst was we went to GeekFest. We did a review of it. We did like a video response review of it. The guy who runs it, Ryan Morrison, happened to cross the review, and he had commentary on it, and we just sat and talked to him one time in the future after that, and that's how the rest is.
We did a really awesome interview with Ryan Morrison that didn't record or something.
yeah, it was like a good 15-minute interview that was lost to the ether. So I would like to do that again at some point because he's a cool guy.
Absolutely. So I guess at this point maybe we should move on to what we have planned for April, and tell these fine folks, who's going to be gaming with Nerdarchy in April.
All right, so Ryan, why don't you, since it's going to be your game, why don't you tell us what date you've picked, and I'll wrap the list.
All right. So yeah, the day that is occurring is April 24th, which is the last Sunday in April, and I have it slotted for 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should be good for at least U.S. folks. So we'll see how that goes. So
and I've got four players picked out for you, as well as 4 alternates. So if you hear your name, the first 4 are your players. Cinder Lambert, we're really sorry we couldn't get you in the last time, so you're first on the list. We have Aaron Peliquin, Stephen Welsh, and Flashpoint. Sorry, that's the name he gave us. And your alternates are Daniel Kruger, Casey Kuhn, Connor James, and Greg McGrath.
All right.
So is there any relation to Freddy Krueger?
We can only hope.
So you guys will all be getting emails from Ryan in the very near future about that. So do you know what adventure you're running?
I do know what adventure I'm running. Should I divulge now, or should I let this wait and linger?
That is completely and entirely up to you.
Yeah. I think I'll hold that to the chest.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, you are running 5A.
It's a 5e adventure. The party will be. Let me think about this. It'll be a 6-level party, so I'll put that in the email as well. That all those folks should have 6-level characters for it.
Okay, so that's happening the 24th. Sometime this week, I'm going to send out an email to everybody that's in the Adventurers Guild, and that will be an invite to the Facebook group that we're going to use as another source of alternates if for some reason we get canceled at the last minute, or maybe one of Nerdarchy wants to do an impromptu game. We might just throw up an invite in there and say, hey, if you're available in an hour from now, there's going to be a game, or just a place for you guys to hang out and discuss and talk.
Yeah, so it'll be like one of those things, like if we need an alternate, like the day of, like, hey, you happen to be available today, and I happen to be -1 player. Let's make this happen. I think we can do it. So.
Exactly. Because now, that being said, if you're not on social media, don't worry about it. We're still going to do it the way we've been doing it, where we send out emails, and as long as you respond to that email and let us know what's going on, we'll get you in the game with us. So no worries with that. We're not going to try and force anybody on the Facebook that doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is if you want a game with us and you gave us your junk email accounts that you don't ever actually check, we're going to correspond with you to those emails that you've given us. So we need legitimate emails. So.
Yeah, I have gotten that message from someone saying, hey, I gave you that email that I don't really use that much. Can I give you a different one? I'm like, well, no, you have to re-sign up because that's the way it works.
I don't have superpowers.
Yeah, I don't have superpowers.
It's not the superpowers. It's just the opt-in system. We can't change the emails that are being used. So if
not legally, we can, but it's kind of there's definitely a shady area there. So
as we've said it a couple times before, but we'll say it again. If you did sign up with an email and you do desperately want a game with us, make sure the email that you sign up with is one that you will actually check and be able to respond to us.
Or even if you just kind of want a game with us. You're not
I don't know about desperate. I don't know about making Warlock packs or anything like that, but
All right, so with that, let's get to the normal weekly wrap. Which, obviously we're talking about gaming with Nerdarchy, and the best way to learn how to do that is by signing up for the newsletter. We're going to find out about the Adventurers Guild. Also, if you guys are interested in getting the nerdy swag you see here and some other cool stuff that Ryan's come up with along the way, and I'm sure there will be more, there's Nerdarchy the store. You can find that at the YouTube homepage or even over on nerdarchy.com. Also on nerdarchy.com, another portion of the store is just digital products. We only have a couple things in there right now, but we're going to add more to it later on. Patreon. You don't want to buy our crap, but you still want to support us, we got a way for you to do that too. It's called Patreon. And for you guys that are already given over there, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Also, whether people realize it or not, anyone who supports us on Patreon, even if it's only $1, we put their name into the drawing to game with Nerdarchy, even if they're in the Adventurers Guild already. So that means they just get an extra chance. Then we have Nerdarchy the Forum. It's just a place for you guys to basically talk geeky stuff, nerdy stuff, and also we have a section there for GM 911s where you guys can get more immediate responses from the community, and we also go through and troll those for GM 911s to put up.
And the other way to submit a GM 911 is nerdarchy@gmail.com. Nerdarchy@gmail.com. GM 911 in the subject line is another great way, because sometimes it gets lost in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, exactly. Also, there is. I just want to say real quick about the GM 911s. They're not for viewer suggestions. They are for, hey, I got problem X in my game. It's coming up. Can you help us with it? And that being said, also there's going to be weeks where we do a lot of them, and there's going to be weeks where we maybe don't do any, like this week coming up, because we actually took a week off from filming, and we're only doing the weekly wrap. We film a lot of videos in advance and have a backlog, so I just started back to work this week. Ted's been sick all week, so we're just like, you know what, we're just gonna chill this week. We did GeekFest yesterday. We have enough in the backlogs to keep you guys going, so you don't have to worry about it. You're still gonna get your daily content from us. Just we didn't shoot anything this previous week. With that, if you guys want to hang out with Nerdarchy Ted, you can do that at the Steampunk World's Fair up in Piscataway, New Jersey. There's a link in the description below, like there is for everything else, if you want more information on that. Cardia, we doing this?
Concardia, yeah. I had trouble getting a hold of the people. I just now need to grab the artwork, get it sent over to them, give them an idea of what I'd like the card to be. But we're definitely doing it. So if you see me at the fair and you come up and chat with me, just you can ask, and I'll have a special Concardia card with Nerdarchy on it, and it's it'll be literally the only way to get it.
Dun dun dun! Exclusive.
Exclusive. And what the hell is that?
Well, Concardia is it's essentially a card game that is it's really a free card game that is offered at a bunch of different cons, and it's usually given out to specific vendors and things that are there. And when you go to those cons, you can get the list of here's where to go to get cards. They give you the stuff for free. All you have to do is go to these vendors, you get the cards, and it's a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors, like that. That's how they determine what can fight what. But cards have different powers and different placement on the battle grid. But then, of course, the cards can have powers as well. So you're just trying to score points while playing this card game. But some people are into just the collecting aspect as well. And it's entirely a free game. So
it's a free CCG, essentially.
Essentially. All you got to do is be at a con that's got it, and you get free cards.
Cool. Very cool. So you guys can hunt Nerdarchy Ted like big game and get your cards from him. You might have to shake him by his ankles or something.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a thing to interject. So Easy Roller Dice is launched their first Kickstarter for these. They're gunmetal dice with different colors for the numbers. So like purple and orange and blues and all kinds of stuff like that. And so they've already actually met their goal within days of having their Kickstarter launched. So their goals met, and they're just like striding towards stretch goals right now. So it's for gunmetal polyhedral dice. You can look for it on Kickstarter. Maybe we can link it in the description below later.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. I want to say one thing, right? The reward levels are so freaking boring, but they're also very good. There's no frills to them because each level is you just get more dice, but the
value of it is good.
Yeah, the price you're getting for it is really good. I believe at $100 you're getting 5 sets of metal dice plus a bag and maybe a cup or something. a dice rolling cup or something, which is a tremendous price. You're literally paying less than $20 per set.
And one other minor Easy Roller thing, they're doing a contest on Instagram. So if you follow at Easy Roller Dice on Instagram, it ends East Coast midnight West Coast time today, and it's just basically sharing an image for $100 worth of Easy Roller swag on their website. So it's like sharing an image with hashtag Real March Madness and hashtag Easy Roller Dice. So if you go and share that around, you'll be one of the people that could be randomly drawn to do that. Because I know when we did that unboxing, people were talking about wanting to get some Easy Roller swag. Well, if you have an Instagram account, that's a good way. If you have kids, use their Instagram account, whatever it takes.
Nice. So there's that. It's not linked in the description right now, but I will put it there later. Then also, last but not least, we have DMG Info, our good friend from down under. And so you take this one, Ted.
All right, so we totally not working here. DMG Info, he has a channel where he does 2.5D dungeon tiles and dungeon terrain. His craft videos are time elapsed, really well edited, and he shows such skill and what he does is just really awesome. So if you're a crafter or you know someone that's into crafting, share his channel. Because what happened is he had over 10,000 subscribers, and a YouTube glitch messed him up. He lost all his subscribers. His videos disappeared behind a paywall, and he struggled with whether he was going to continue or just give up. So he persevered. He continued on, and he's back to over 8,000 subscribers, and we're going to keep pimping out his stuff. We're going to keep talking about him until he gets back to the 10,000 subscribers that he used to have.
And a quick update on that. He is actually less than 900 subscribers away to being back to 10,000.
All right.
So he's less than 900 away from us ever mentioning evermore. No, I'm sure we'll talk about him for sure.
Yeah. So with that, let's move on to the nerdy news over at Nerdarchy.com and what we did last week. We had World of Darkness: How to Make a Monster. We had a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Gryphongaff session 17 play recap. We had Blast from the Past, Revolt of Antares, a TSR minigame by Ty Johnson. Ty's really showing his age with that one. Actually, all three of those articles are from guest posters, not ghost posters.
They're ghosts. We need Ghostbusters to come through, or not. Actually, we don't, because then we wouldn't have people writing articles. So.
Yeah, well, no, we tried to make them right. The first one, World of Darkness, is not Nigel Nubbs. Mr. Nubbs, he's written for us in the past, and he's come back, which we're really grateful for, and he's adding some great World of Darkness content. And then we have Scott Garrity, love him, hate him. Either way, he's writing articles for Nerdarchy, so you can go over there and tell him how much you love him or how much you hate him. Either way, I'm sure he'd love to hear from you.
And good luck.
And good luck. And with that, we have will there be a 6th edition Dungeons and Dragons? We had kind of done a little bit of a troll video that was kind of fun for me, Ted, and Scott, talking about what happened, where will the game go next. So I kind of did a follow-up article on that. And then we finished off with player tips, adding more class to your class, the Ranger, and that was from Nerdarchy's Ted. Then over on the YouTube, where you are right now, or you could be on Google, I guess, somewhere.
Or this video is being pirated in Kazakhstan somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so on YouTube, we had a GM911, a Game Master needs help with Stars Without Number. It's a different RPG system. We did a Game Master tip on players want to buy a tavern, so put the adventure underneath the tavern. We did a GM911 on characters keep killing the needed NPCs. We did another GM tip on chaotic Lootural character. Is that really a Dungeon Master problem? We had a GM911 on serious D&D players versus the Chuckle clowns.
That's the PG version of that.
Yeah. Well, you got to be nice. We did a Game Master tips on players controlling NPCs. Fun party splitting tip. We did a GM 911 on adding Fey creatures as player characters. We did a player tip on what kind of hero are you. And we did another player tip on infighting within your adventuring group. We did a character build on Deadpool getting D&D-ized, and we finished up the week with Play Session 4 Part 1, The Mercs and the Jedi Hug It Out.
Or they hung it out.
I don't want to know about what they hung out.
They went seriously Greek on that one.
So with that, I think Ted's got to go, but I'm going to push this Q&A button and see what happens.
All right, guys. Stay nerdy.
See you, Ted. Stay nerdy.
Later, Ted. Oh, I think it actually did something. So if any of you guys are around and want to ask us questions, you can. And, oh, my God, someone already did. That was fast.
Well, no, I saw that in there in the Q&A a while from Jared Hayter there.
Oh, yeah. It just showed up for me when I hit the button.
Yeah, I hit the Q&A tab, and it opened that up, so I saw that question.
Never mind. Maybe this completely doesn't work the way I thought it did. But either way, so we do have something. So it looks like someone will be looking for Ted and hunting him down.
Boba Fett.
Steampunk. Yes.
Yeah. Jared will be looking for Ted. Yeah. We won't tell Ted. He'll just he'll get ambushed, and it'll be great. Yeah.
It will be totally great.
Yeah. So I don't know how many questions we're going to get because, I mean, it's super impromptu. We probably gave people 15 minutes notice or so. So
I sent something out a little while ago, but it was still last minute. It was definitely last minute.
Definitely.
So,
well, give it a minute, I guess.
So, Ryan, what's going on?
Not much. How's the weather?
Well, better today now. It's not storming.
Yeah. Oh, man. That rainstorm last night was freaking crazy. If anybody was on the East Coast, it was like frogs and locusts descended. It was madness.
Yeah, there was some hail, too.
Yeah.
Definitely. It got biblical.
Mad biblical. All right. Well, I don't know if anybody else is going to do anything, so I'll just throw it out again that there's Easy Roller things going on with the contest to win stuff and the Kickstarter, and also to help us out, if you're going to buy Easy Roller product, if you go to their website /Nerdarchy, it actually goes a ways to supporting Nerdarchy, our programming, and we get a piece of what people spend there.
Woohoo!
Stuff.
Yeah. So with that, guys, enjoy your Sunday evening, and until next time,
stay nerdy.